If you get enlightened, they don't get a raise in pay. They don't get any closer. They're already home. Their act is done without selfishness and without condition. You've never been loved that way before. All human love is always with condition. I love you if you love me. I love you if you're good. I love you if you don't kill me. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. Only a God being can love without condition, because there is nothing they need from you. But while they don't need your trust or your faith or your love, you need to trust them, have faith in them, and love them. They don't need your surrender, but you need to surrender. You'll notice, as I have noticed, that as the spirit becomes a more focal point in your life, and you start to begin to feel filled instead of empty, your life starts to become very simple. Many of you experience such confusion. Do I want to earn money or do I want to live without it? Do I want sex or don't I? Do I want a man or do I want a woman? Do I want a new stereo? Do I want a place in the country? Do I want to go to Europe? Do I want to go to India? Do I want to go to this ashram or that ashram? And that all seems so real. But once you've honored the connection that's already standing behind you, above you, and in your lap, and in your heart, you've got your playmate for eternity. And all the rest of it is the support system. If you have money, fine. You don't have money, okay. If you're in India, beautiful. If you're in America, wow. If you have a car, great. If you walk, yeah. If you have new clothes, delightful. You're wearing old clothes, uh-huh. It all gets very simple. It's simple. The confusion is merely a confusion of motives. When I looked into Maharaji's eyes, I met a playmate that I couldn't fathom. Because everywhere I was, he was. Everything I knew, he knew. There was no joke I could think of that he didn't see the humor in. There was no sadness I could experience that he couldn't empathize with. You ever have a playmate like that? Didn't want anything from me? Now and then when I'd sit with him, something would happen, some little incident, and there would be humor, and I would laugh, and he would laugh. And then I would see that what I was laughing at was not really the joke. There was another joke, and I'd laugh at that, and he'd laugh. And then I'd look at him and I would see that he was laughing still 3 more jokes out that I couldn't yet laugh at. You ever have a playmate like that? Do you ever have a playmate that is the Buddha, and is the Christ, and is the mother, and is the child? Sometimes we'd be able to cut up apples and hold them for Maharaji because he would eat our karma. He would take on stuff. He would just eat up stuff by eating the fruit. And he would reach out and just take a piece of apple from your hand. And it was like feeding a bird in the woods. It was like having a deer come up and nuzzle in your hand to eat. And the next moment he would turn and have the ferocity of a wild thunderstorm. And every time I challenged him with my intellect, he would pull my beard and laugh at me. Did you ever have a friend like that? Everyone here has such a friend. It's very simple how you do it. Just like children have imaginary playmates, they hang out with somebody named Ronald. And Ronald always knows just what to do and how to do it. Well, you have Ronald. Or Josephine. And just hang out. In any dimension of absolute perfection, you know that your playmate has. And you hang out with that playmate. Get closer and closer and closer. You see, my playmate turned out not to be my guru in body. That only turned out to be a few memories of a man in a blanket and a number of quotations written in a book. And at one moment when I sat in the temple courtyard and everybody sat across the way, rubbing his feet and eating the apples he was throwing at them and loving him, I had a moment of clarity and I saw that isn't what it is. That's just a body. That is merely the guru in sport. And at that moment, I thought, what am I doing here? I don't have to be in this temple. This isn't where it is. And an old devotee of Maharaji's ran across the courtyard, came up to me, and he touched my feet. And I said, why did you do that? He said, Maharaji sent me over to do that. He said, Ram Dass and I understand each other perfectly. At that moment. Now here he is, a year and a half after he's been burned up on a fire. And he's in this room at this moment. In fact, even as I speak, he goes in and out of my body. It's that intimate. If you're quiet when you meditate, if you truly open your heart, if you speak to your beloved, you may call it God, you may call it Guru, whatever being you feel close to, Christ, you can talk to. Anandamaima, Amal, all of the beautiful holy mothers, all the beautiful living spirits that have ever walked the earth. You hang out. You hang out with them. Hang out with the perfect playmate. And slowly you just become one of them. The transformation will be complete when Maharaji and I are one. Transformation will be complete when you and the being who's above you, behind you, and in your lap become one. When Don Juan and Castaneda are the same being. For in truth, there's only one of them. There's only one of them. There is only one guru in the whole game. It's all just forms. Just forms. The real work you have to do is in the privacy of your own heart. All of the external forms are lovely. But the real work is your inner connection. First with your playmate, beyond that with God, and actually with your own self. It's really time for you to see through the absurdity of your own predicament. You aren't who you thought you were. You just aren't that person. And in this very lifetime, you can know it. Right now. Every miracle that occurred in the Bible is occurring on this earth at this moment. I am living in a world of miracles. And they're all just the stuff of it all. Nothing of living truth has been lost. It's all right here. Not for later, it's for now. Right now. If you feel a veil away from it, if you feel closed from it, just quiet your mind. Open your heart. Quiet the mind, open the heart. How do you quiet the mind? You meditate. How do you open the heart? You start to love that which you can love and just keep expanding it. You love a tree, you love a river, you love a leaf, you love a flower, you love a cat, you love a human. But go deeper and deeper into that love. Till you love that which is the source of the light behind all of it.
This podcast is brought to you by the Love Serve Remember Foundation and Ramdas.org. We appreciate you listening, and we appreciate all the support that you've given us.